Hello everybody, my name is Brian Keenan. Back again with the second part of my little tuition video for the absolutely beautiful Adelita by Francisco Tarrega. We're now into the second half, which is in E major. Very typical device that, isn't it, of course, from the 19th century to move from E minor into its parallel major, E major. And quite often you'll see the reverse, a tune that starts in, say, E major, like Rima does. Then in the second half moves to its, it's parallel minor, E minor. Or even a very famous example, of course, is Romanza. Probably the most famous classical guitar tune out there. So we've now moved into this sort of brighter, happier, more lively key of E major. And I would start with this position, this shape on. Now, we don't need all the notes from the get-go, but I would put the whole shape on. It's a little 3-string bar, I think we'll do, at the 4th fret. Finger 2 will go on this E note, that's 2nd string, 5th fret, and finger 3 will go onto this G sharp, that's 4th string, 6th fret. Have the chord on, then you can simply play strings 6 and 1, then strings 4, 3 and 2. I play with thumb and ring finger, and then thumb, index and middle finger for the little chord. So you have the G sharp tune, then this harmony is filled out. The melody then moves to that B note, 1st string, 7th fret with the little finger. Then move to an A chord briefly. So the thumb moves up to the open A string. And this has changed slightly, you may not have noticed, but there is a slight change. That E note stays where it was, I suppose, but we now move the 3rd finger to the 3rd string, 6th fret, C sharp, creating an A chord. So over an E harmony we have, then move to A, add this F sharp, just a passing note to get us back to this G sharp to repeat. I'm just going to repeat that. That's not exactly what happens in the tune, but I'm just going to repeat it over and over again. What I want you to think about there is the rhythm, which is 1, 2 and 3 and 1, 2 and 3 and 1. And again, bear in mind that your tune is and be aware of where the harmony is, and maybe don't play so strong on the little chords that are just filling out the harmony, and bring out the melody. Rather than going back to simply the G sharp, 1st string, 4th fret, you'll actually then play the chord of E major. That's 4th fret, 5th fret, 4th fret. First time round, just the G sharp. Next time round, play the whole chord. Play the B with the little finger, then up to 12th fret and 11th. I play that all rest stroke. I think it's important, to bring out the melody in a very Tarrega-like fashion by bringing it out with quite a heavy rest stroke. This bit's quite tricky. The second half is a good bit harder than the first half. You've probably already worked at it. This little passage that's about to happen is the hardest few bars in the whole tune. So you're going to want to spend quite a bit of time with this, probably a week or two. You have a 9th fret bar, just covering 5 strings for me. It might not matter much if you cover 6, but I just cover the 5. And the 11th fret on the 1st string with the 3rd finger. And what a pluck is, strings 5, 3 and 1. Which is fine, but there's a little ornament on that which is quite difficult. We want but it's just slurred. The next C sharp note, you'll might be tempted to. That's not what happens. Bring 3 back. That puts us in position for this next chord, which is particularly difficult. What I have is a 7th fret bar covering all 6 strings. The D sharp again, that's a major third of the chord, on the 3rd string 8th fret, and this C sharp on the 9th fret. And I'm going to do a little ornament on the C sharp with the D sharp 11th fret. Now that's quite difficult. If I pluck every note and if I slur, it's quite difficult. The next note is within the bar. Then an A note, that's 2nd string 10th fret. Within the bar, F sharp. You have finger 2 on it, the D sharp, 8th fret. Then a B note, 4th string 9th fret. There's a lot going on there. A lot of practice you're going to have to spend with that. Anybody would, even I would. It's to be executed cleanly takes a lot of practice and a lot of strength in the left hand. Okay, relatively straightforward once you've done the 2nd slur. Then you get, in the next section, you get a bit of release. With the bar, you've gotten rid of the bar, you're getting rid of all the ornaments, and you just have a single G sharp note, which I play here. The 4th string 6th fret. It's a double stop I do with the thumb, but because it's not on adjacent strings, you can't sound it, simultaneously like this. It's going to be broken, but you can still place it as if it's on the one beat together. After you've done that, with 6th string and that G sharp, it's the top 2 strings open, B and E. This B note, 4th string 9th fret with my little finger. Then I move to an A chord like this. When people see me do that, they think I'm playing an A7th chord. I'm actually not. It's really A. It's just because I'm only plucking strings 5, 4, 2 and 1. There's no need to put anything on the 3rd string, but it isn't A7. It's just simply because I'm not plucking that 3rd string, I don't need to put anything on it in my left hand. I'll just play the chord like that, strings 5 and 4, 2 and 1. And I play it with thumb, index, then a little bit of a reach, middle, ring. F sharp on the 4th fret of the 4th string, which I play with my thumb. Then G sharp on the 3rd string 1st fret. And that's with an E. Oops. That's with an E bass. The B on the 4th fret, slide up to the 13th fret G sharp, and come back to the D sharp, which you played quite a few times, usually as part of a bar. It's quite a lot going there to see. There are other ways you could finger that, depending on which version you're looking at or whose videos you've watched, you might see other ways of doing it. They're all fine. This is just the way I do it. I'm not going to say it's the only way it can be done. It's just the way I choose to do it. You finished on the 8th fret of the 3rd string. Then I move it up to 9th and bar the 8th fret. Again, it's quite awkward. I pluck strings 6, 8th fret, string 4, 8th fret, string 3, 9th fret, and I have to do a little ornament there. That's quite awkward for an amateur player. That's going to be difficult. That's going to take some practice. The ornament I have is 9, 10, 9, but it's slurred. Then I pluck string 4, 8th fret again. Then you have a dotted little figure here where you as musically as you can, you have to jump to it. So it's going to be broken, but as musically as you can, try to land on the beat. So that's finger 3 then on that 8th fret. slide it up to 9 and add the octave B below that 6th string 7th fret. Then an A harmony, that's 4th string 7th fret, 3rd string 6th fret, and that falls back to, that's probably part of an E chord, of course. G sharp, the 4th string 6th fret, and this B, 3rd string 4th fret. B7. When I pop on that B7, all I'm plucking is 5, 4, 3, 2, because this D sharp on the 2nd string forms a melody, so that you want to sort of stop on that top note, then move to E, and I'm only plucking the top 4 strings. I could do that, but us guitarists, will instinctively go to the sort of full E chord. But all you'll pluck is 4, 3, 2, 1, and then the bottom string open again. There you go. That little phrase, just before I wrap up that phrase, which is good fun. It can also be played here. Probably easier in many ways. I think I just prefer the sound of it there. All on stopped notes, and again the sort of the tonal quality of the notes is similar right through the line then. But you can play it here. Your A sharp on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. That pair of B's that we had earlier, an octave apart, is now 5th string 2nd fret and open B. Then the A and C sharp, the A harmony is here, 2nd fret, G sharp and open B, and then again move into the B7 just as before. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, really. It's same notes. It's just a question of what you prefer, your own taste, and what suits better. That's the end of that. That's what do we do there? Maybe 2 10-minute videos, maybe a bit more than that. But there's a couple of weeks of practice in that tune. So this is the sort of thing you're going to want to watch that video again and again and again. And every time you watch it, I think you'll probably absorb a bit more every time. So again, good luck with this. I think you're going to probably spend, if you're just starting the tune from scratch, I'd imagine 2 or 3 weeks before it starts to come together, and then maybe a few months before it really starts to sound good. But it's a beautiful little tune, as I said at the beginning. It's one of those tunes everyone plays, and rightfully so, because it's a beautiful little tune. So I hope you enjoy it. And if you're interested in lessons, rock lessons, country lessons, heavy metal lessons, or classical guitar lessons, you can find me on the Lisburn Road in Belfast. All the best.